What's up? Welcome back to Deepthinkers podcast, the humans. We're on episode 4. Can't believe we're 4 weeks in. That's crazy.
4 weeks in, bro. We hit 1 month, bro.
That's crazy. We're already 4 weeks in.
We're in there, bro.
We're in there. We're solidifying the dream.
I mean, on Spotify, I think it's like 12% of podcasts have more than 5 episodes. 12%. And think about how many podcasters there are out there. It's because like people aren't consistent. But we in here, baby.
We in here this week, and then again. We got some topics to talk about.
We got some mind-bending shit to talk about today, bro. You can start.
You want me to start? I mean, I was just gonna start it out with some recent news. There was a Texas elementary school shooting.
Yeah, R.I.P. to all those kids, bro.
R.I.P. to all those kids.
I think it was like 8 kids, 9 kids.
Something horrendous, bro.
That's so fucked.
And it was an elementary school, too.
The dude got caught already, yeah?
Pretty sure he did.
Watch him claim insanity. Watch.
It's usually how it goes.
And then he's going to go to a psych ward for like not even a year and get out.
I mean, the thing is, I've looked into that type of stuff, claiming insanity and all that.
It works.
Now, I mean, to an extent, when it's like a crazy thing, they will just have you live in like a mental facility instead of just letting you go out.
Yeah.
So like in a way, like you may think you're like you're getting yourself out, but like you're really like it's
you're setting yourself up for worse, if anything.
It's just a different room in the same. It's a different room in the same hell, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I only say it's worse because like in jail you're still dealing with people that still like they have a grasp of reality to a certain extent. Like there's some crazy motherfuckers in there for sure, but I feel like if you're in a psych ward, you're constantly surrounded by a bunch of different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? And most of them are bad. So it's like, how are you ever supposed to grow out of that? Yeah,
you don't. That's what I'm saying. People think they're like playing the system when they do that, but you're not. You're only setting yourself up for something that might be even worse. For your mental health. Because you're not, if you're claiming insanity and you go to a place meant for people that like are insane, and you're not, you're gonna go insane.
You're gonna go insane.
You're gonna go insane. Like, you're just doing it to fuck the system. Anyways.
Speaking of fuck the system, bro, Amber Heard, she lost.
She lost. Nothing we could do about that.
I don't want to do anything.
Nothing we could do about that.
Bro. Actually, the fact that there's so many Amber Heard fans now. Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure trolls.
I don't know if I missed an episode or something.
Trolling, bro.
But, like, bro, all of a sudden, everybody's, like, a bunch of people I see are, like, fuck Johnny, this, and that, Team Amber. I hope Amber wins. And I sit there, like, yeah, it's easily trolls, but, like, I be clicking on these profiles, and it's women that look exactly like her, bro.
Not to put a stereotype out there, but...
Yeah, I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but, like, I clicked on, like, 5 to 6 profiles, to be fair. So I got, like, a somewhat grasp of who the fuck these people were. They were all white women. Blonde hair. And most of their TikToks, they were just, like, at home with, like, cat videos or dog videos. But it's, like, they're typing that type of shit. Correct.
It is what it is. And the thing is, I did a little bit of that research too on Twitter, and a lot of them had only their followers could comment, or their comments were completely turned off.
Bro, I be seeing that shit all the time.
Their profile couldn't have been private because then I wouldn't have seen it. But yeah, either they just turned off the comments because it's like these people are living
delusional.
Yeah, they're living in this storyline that they made up. They made up their own lore, their own background. They made up the facts. And it's like they're living in it. And it's like when anybody actually brings up the fact, that's like a danger to their territory. So they just rather not.
It's the truth.
On the other side, intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Bro,
I didn't write too much about that, but North Korea, I don't know what you're doing over there. Relax.
He's not gonna relax.
I mean, if they watch the podcast we got through.
If you just so happen to be watching this, bro, you gotta relax.
Kim, please, bro.
Smoke a blunt.
Take a Zen.
Do yourself a fucking...
You have enough money to go wherever you want.
But it's like...
Escape for a little bit.
If we're siding with them, though, I think... Are we not?
No, I think it was like... I think it was genuinely like a good thing. Because like we were over there doing like deals and we were like... It's like...
So he's being nice to us.
It's like what's it called? War like thing. Like we're getting like resources back and forth type thing.
Bartering?
So they were just not necessarily bartering, but they were just allies. So like, if they need something, we got them. If we need something,
yeah,
they
but
got
it's
us.
also like United States of America has more than 12 countries as allies.
I don't know.
So if he gets us, he gets all 12.
I don't know.
Plus, 'cause I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't look up too much into it. That was just like the very
realistically, our allies wouldn't let us die. You get what I'm saying?
exactly. But that was just like the very few like paragraphs that I read where it was stating. I could have looked more into it, but I was trying to like get a good majority thing. Regardless, I think it was mostly a positive thing. Although I don't think testing for intercontinental missiles is ever gonna get us anywhere in the long run, really.
That just leads to more innocent people dying, bro.
Intercontinental, like, are they planning to go to war with Mars when Elon gets there? Like, is Elon
going back to the Elon theory, bro?
A war in Iran. Don't know too much about that. You can do your own research.
Dude, like, bro, what the fuck is
I'm not even lying. Like, it's genuinely like maintaining positive. It's genuinely like the world makes it a challenge.
It's funny you said that because I was literally talking to my mom about that like yesterday or the day before, because she's always watching the news, and I was telling her like, bro, you know they're never gonna show you anything positive, right? Like you're feeding into that shit every day. Like you're gonna think the whole world is bad. Stop watching the news. And like yesterday I caught her. She was just like, she was watching some shit. I never caught her watching the news yesterday, so I was telling her like, that's good. It's like if you just sit there and your news is the only source of information you intake, you're dumb. It's not like you're dumb, but it's like what you think is true could be easily changed for something else.
It could be what you're looking at could be edited. Literally, they could be showing you a fake graph on your one source of news that you're like.
That's literally, bro. That's I noticed that instantly in the Weather Channel, bro. Like. They claim all this shit and it never happened. So it had like.
I mean, the weather, you gotta cut them some slack though, because they're forecasting what might happen so you can prepare. I mean, they're not telling you what can happen.
Bro, I remember distinctly there was this one day. It was supposed to be sunny as hell, 80 degrees. Nigga, it snowed that day.
I
was sitting there like, hey, yo. What are we doing?
I gotta do some research into that because that's
am I on the wrong channel, bro?
That sounds crazy. They either were definitely fucking with you,
with a bunch of people,
but like, regardless, I mean, to be honest, as our planet gets more fucked, bro, it was 80 degrees the other day, and I had to wear my sweater yesterday at work. Or it was 90 degrees the other day. 50
degrees today.
And I had to wear my sweater at work yesterday, so it's like, it's. Specifically for weathercasters, it's only getting harder. It's RNG at this point, bro.
I can't wait for him to get up there and be like, yo, the ice caps are melting. Y'all gotta do it more, bro. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
What about you?
Some positivity, bro.
Positivity? You want me to...
A little bit of positivity, because we don't even talk about bad shit. 5 billion people have access to the internet now. That's more than 60% of the world. For the longest time, I think it was like...
what was it before?
1 billion. It was at 1 billion for like a solid 6 to 7 years.
Sheesh.
And that was like during like the peak of Twitter, when Facebook was really going crazy. That's when like a lot of people were getting on the internet. Like YouTube was first starting out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
dude,
that art and apps and stuff.
No, I can't wait. I'm not trying to like put any shame on anybody, like Middle East, like North America, Europe, any of that, but like I can't wait for like all of the bad shit to just start coming out, because we really do gotta start moving forward.
It's a detox.
We really do gotta start moving forward, not just as humanity, bro. You get what I'm saying? As humanity as a whole, we gotta start moving forward, because it's only getting worse.
It is only getting worse.
And don't get me wrong, I'm human.
We also talked about this in the beginning of COVID. Like, everybody was thinking like this is the beginning of some bullshit.
And like, don't even
get me. Now we got the monkeypox.
The monkeypox.
Different COVID variants.
Wars, some of them which are man-made. Oh fuck.
No, it's already been proven that COVID is man-made. It's impossible for something that came from our ecosystem to develop that fast, because what they're claiming it came from nature. If that was true, it had to start from the bottom and go all the way up. So if it was a nature disease, we wouldn't even be experiencing or knowing about it until like 60 years from now or 50 years from now. because they would have to start at the very bottom, like ants, rodents, insects, birds. It would have to go all the way up, and then humans. You get what I'm saying?
But instead of like
so
birds
the fact that it
it's
started
like
exactly, it started at humans, and then it went to animals. It's man-made, bro. It developed so bad. It got worse within less than 2 years. That's why, like, I joke about that shit, because, like, 2020, bro, was a 5-year arc in humanity, bro. Like, you could make an anime out of what the fuck happened that year. It was so bad, bro. And it was so bad.
What I was gonna say is, like, don't get me wrong, I'm human too, and I've had the thought of just, fuck it, we're already fucked. Let me live my life and enjoy it.
I'm human.
I've had that
that's
thought.
Also why,
but, like, realistically, we gotta move forward as humanity, bro.
Quarantine was like a double-edged sword for most people, because a lot of people got depressed, a lot of people couldn't do shit, they had to stop their everyday lives, but a lot of people strived during quarantine. Motherfuckers lost hella weight, they were, like, doing their at-home jobs, still getting paid. You know what I'm saying? It was a double-edged sword. It wasn't just bad. Like, people started doing content creation, now they're, like, blowing up and shit. There was a lot of good in it, but it's like, in terms of what you see online, that's not what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's not at all.
And that goes into, like, marketing, because, like, why would they want you to still keep hope? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When they're trying to, if we're thinking theory here, when they're trying to, like, depopularize the earth, why would they want you to think positively?
Even though, I mean, obviously, like...
They're doing mass murders, bro.
I've heard that the Earth can contain, like, up to 7 times the population it has now, assuming everybody's, like...
working effectively.
Yeah, is that...
There has to be a perfect system set up.
Yeah, exactly. A perfect system set up. Everybody's, like, they're not worried about, like, working for money. They're working because, like, they're out here,
you have to put pride aside, you have to put greed aside.
They're, like, they're advancing humanity type shit, like... That's the type of, like...
That's the thing, though.
A type 2 civilization, I guess.
I feel like that wouldn't work nowadays, because, like, people are super self-entitled.
That's what I'm saying.
You have the 7 deadly sins, like greed, pride, lust, envy.
That
so it's like
bro,
sloth in particular. Sloth is very prevalent in most humans. Most people don't have ambition. Most people don't know what the fuck they want to do. So, like, they kind of just, like, they get lost. You become, like, lost for a couple of years. I went through that, but I'm out of that. But it's fucking hard to get out of something like that, because it takes over your whole life. When your whole control is just taken away, you're on spectator mode. It's like you can't really do shit about it. So it's like you kind of have to just survive and hope for the best.
Yeah, very unfortunate. On some good news, we got.
We said good and then we went bad.
On some good news, we got Umbrella Academy.
Season 3,
that show was
bro.
so good, bro. I remember watching that, getting goosebumps, bro. To be honest, I didn't read the
books.
I didn't read the books. When I went to Harrison's Comics, I saw them and I was thinking about buying it, but I was like, I already watched it. I'm gonna have to do some research.
The only thing I do question though is, like, there was only 2 books. So since there's a season 3 coming out, are they making a new book?
I have no idea.
Or are they just going from, like, now, like, their own script?
They could leave the book behind. I don't.
It happens in comic books all the time.
They could just leave the book behind.
But I would like for them to make another book.
Unless you could read those 2 books and know what's already about to happen. Maybe that's what's playing out.
Like, spoiler alert, but, like, the dad's still alive. And, like, if we're talking multiverse again, going back to last episode, it's included in the show, because, like, if you watched the trailer, right?
Did I watch the trailer? I don't know if I did.
Like, at the end of...
I think I did.
Again, spoiler alert. At the end of season 2, 5 teleports them out of there, as I think 7 was about to, like, explode the whole fucking earth. That's how strong she is. He teleported all of them out, and then they ended up, like, in the trailer, it starts off, they landed in a different multiverse of the same, like, earth. And as soon as they go back to the academy, they think they're home, but it's now, I think it's like the Raven Academy instead of the Umbrella Academy. And Ben, the Chinese kid, that one that died in the very beginning of the show, he's alive, and he's the leader now.
I'm gonna have to watch that trailer. That sounds amazing.
The monkey's alive, bro. He's alive, bro.
It's fucking Winston.
The show is heat.
It's Winston, bro.
If you haven't watched...
He's alive, bro.
If you haven't watched Umbrella Academy, you have to watch it, bro.
It's so good. It's really good.
It's also a book if you want to read.
It is also a book if you're into that.
But that shit... When I heard that shit was coming back, I got hyped.
No, 100%. And I didn't even know it was coming back. And then you told me, because I didn't even know they were making a new season. So when you told me that, I was like,
I personally thought they weren't making another one because I knew there was only 2 books, but the way they ended it off, it left off on a cliffhanger. So I was like,
yeah,
we have hope. A year and a half later, here we are.
Yeah, a year and a half. Damn, I completely forgot about that because it's like it ended off on a cliffhanger. I didn't really want to let my mind.
But it's good to end shows like that,
yeah,
especially
you
Netflix
can come
shows.
Back. You can come back.
Especially Netflix, like Stranger Things. That shit is coming back. Everybody's hype. It's gonna be crazy.
Dude, I haven't seen that show in so long. That shit had me hooked in high school though.
I think it comes out next month.
That's crazy that I started that like
sophomore
year.
we have so much heat, bro, coming this summer, bro. We got X documentary dropping tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We got Post the album dropping the 3rd.
The 3rd of June, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
We got heat on heat. We got movies coming out. We got the shows coming out. It's about to be a crazy summer, bro. The beautiful weather, bro.
Not only that, the mindset's looking up.
The money up. Stop playing with me.
Yes, sir.
You gotta go out. We gotta go to the beach again, bro. I love doing that shit. I want to swim this time.
Bro, it was just really unfortunate. I mean, we did get there very late. They were too much of a bitch.
It's not even about there being late.
No.
That water was too brick.
It was too brick.
There's no way I was dipping myself.
I mean, me, Jordan, and Alan were swimming for like 30 minutes, but that was like as much as I was gonna handle.
The water was, for context, we went to the beach. I'm not gonna say which one, but the water was way too fucking cold.
Really cold.
It was literally like an ice bath everywhere. So you can't we gotta go to a lake. I feel like a lake is perfect.
I mean, my family's planning to go on lakes this summer. I can definitely tell them, And they usually be going to like Boston, not even Boston. They
just get the bug spray and we're boom.
You know you're going to a good lake when you're on the highway for a couple hours before you get there.
And especially like when you enter it, you have to go through like a little wood path.
That's when you know you're going. It doesn't matter if you're doing all the necessary steps to get there. It'll be heat. It'll be heat.
I gotta hit up Meg.
Remember the one we went to?
That's what I was about to say with like work friends, right?
Yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta go back to
that shit was really good.
That shit was heat, but it was far.
It was very.
That's
far.
what I remember. It was kind of far. It was like an hour and a half away. But if we go there, worth it. Question for you.
Okay.
I have a question before I start. What do you think like humans' best creation is so far? Or best, like, what's the best thing you think we've done?
We've done? Okay, that's different. That's a different question than invention. So which one do you want me to
Yeah, just say invention. Best invention we've had. That's more like,
I mean, I think statistically, like, as far as, like, power... I'm thinking of this in like a money, and like not a money, in a video game way. The second you unlock the internet, you unlock a lot.
No, a lot of people say the internet.
Yeah,
the internet was insane.
The internet's definitely probably if it's not number one, it's up there.
Yeah, it's like even if you wanna dabble in it and think about it, like if you wanted to text me, like 2 centuries ago, it'd have to be like by bird. Like you write a note. You put it on the bird and you hope for the best. You hope that it gets to me, right?
Or by word.
It'll probably take like a couple weeks to get
by
there.
By word of mouth.
Exactly, like
you have to go look for people. Or you could just
nowadays.
If you're homies with somebody, be like, if you're ever looking for me, I'm probably near the gas station over there, bro.
Nowadays we have like so many social media apps, so it's like even if that person has like a Kick, bro, a Snapchat, an Instagram, their phone number, you can instantly contact them right there, right, like in that second.
Yeah.
Instead of it like being like weeks for a response. Like when I think about that, I think about the people that were getting married. Like imagine proposing to a shorty and having to wait for like 4 weeks for that so her to even get the question, and she hits you with a no, and you wait like 5 weeks for a no.
Fuck that. I was thinking more of imagine you propose to a shorty and now you gotta literally wait half a year for the notes to go out and come back, and then you can start planning the shit because
at that point, bro, I would just make sure the note has everything I'm gonna say, like, would you marry me? If
I don't even think people got married by notes.
I mean, that would be like one of the main forms of communication instead of word of mouth.
I mean, but like, I even back then, I don't even back then they probably didn't get married. They probably did not get married by no. It was probably face to face. To be honest,
long distance relationships were very prevalent back in the day, though.
Are you serious?
You didn't have a bunch of forms of communication. The internet wasn't out, bro. How do you think? Like, it's like you said, you have to either be talking to the person, be in the same location, or send a note.
Oh yeah, that's true. But that's like
a note used to be like an email.
But that's different. That's like on your everyday life. When you're getting married, you're probably not gonna send out a note unless you'd have to. You get what I'm saying?
Like, imagine you're in the trenches, bro. You're trying to like make sure your girl knows you're good. You gotta send. What if that bird?
It's like the guy that brings the shit to the farmer. It's like, yo, when you go over there, drop it off at the post office, please. It's like
my thing is,
and it's like he just crumbles up, throws it out, and you have no idea.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, bro, imagine you're just like you're sending a note to somebody, and you put it on a bird, and you just see the bird fly away. Like, what if that bird gets eaten by another bird?
What if it flies?
And you're just sitting there living your life waiting for the response. You're never gonna get
at that point. Send another one, bro. Send another one. You're gonna have to
actually,
make multiple copies.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Send out like 5 at a time, because it definitely raises the odds. Because like, how the fuck would the bird know exactly where to go? Like, what the hell? What kind of birds were they using?
I think it was more of just there's food over here and a place for you to sleep. There's also food over there. Maybe they just memorized that, and it's like they attached it. So maybe when the bird was over there, it would be up to the human to like spot it out, maybe.
Because I feel like the only
because the way they make it look in movies is that they literally tell them it's 15th Avenue Street, go.
Like the owls in Harry Potter, bro, they knew everything, everybody's address, where they slept in the house. I was like, who's training these fucking owls, bro?
Yeah, it's literally I mean, that's how they make it look in the movies, but realistically, I think it was just like, this is a house for you, this is a house for you over there. Attach a note, and it was just up to the humans, I guess.
I was thinking they did that, but it's also like, do you know? I think I want to get it wrong, but I think it's crows. Crows have one thing that no bird has, which is they remember your face. Like, instead of remembering a sound or how you sound like a parrot would, it remembers your literal face. So like, just imagine a crow spying on you, bro. That man like sees you leave your house at a certain time, come back at a certain time. He knows a lot about you, and it's just a bird.
And I can imagine, it gets to a point where, like, imagine he straps the note to it very good. The bird only, like...
It remembers the 2 faces.
Yeah, exactly.
It will keep looking for that other face.
Exactly, and it's also like, I gotta get this note off my shit. Let me go to the guy that usually takes it off, because they're also an animal. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. They'll adapt to that. They'll be like, I mean, let me get this note off my back. This is usually how it happens. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's obviously a lot easier said than done in words, but...
I just found that very interesting, because a lot of people say the internet, because of that, like, we no longer have to do shit like that, but in my opinion,
communication, everything, bro.
Communication was definitely a crazy thing.
Even just learning.
But like,
the ability to learn.
The one thing me and you talk about a lot is space. So if we're talking space, I think we're like a couple steps closer to becoming interstellar, bro. And the only reason why I say this is because of the James Webb Telescope. It's been in production for like the last decade or so. They finally made it. It's out right now. It's in space. And like, I have
how many years?
It took a decade for them to build it.
Amazing.
So like, I have some bullet points down here. It's 100 times more powerful than the Hubble, which is the one that we've been using. Right? It's 100 times more precise. It can zoom way farther. It can see things more clearer too. It can scan the radiation like sphere out of space. Meaning, like when you zoom into like the moon, for example, with the telescope, you can keep looking deeper to the point where like you see specific landmarks and stuff, and you can run analysis on that. So like if we're thinking like simulation or like VR, where technology is going, right? Their plan is kind of like, let's try to go to planets outside of our solar system, because most of our planets around here are not inhabitable. The only one that's probably a probability is Mars, right? So they're looking more past that. They're trying to find a proper one that's inhabitable, because if we find it, that's home. It could be home. But it's also like, since it zooms in so far, we would be able to see if there's living life on other planets, like for real. Because we would see something. It zooms that far. So that's how we got the picture of the rock, like the door in Mars that I was telling you about. They found a door, and it looks like there's like stairs going downwards in Mars. That's when like me and you were talking about, like, what if they're living inside of the planet instead of outside?
I wouldn't.
I would not put it past them, bro.
It's like you gotta keep an open mind when it comes to shit like that, because it's like you can't just be like, alright, if we can't live there, nothing else can.
Yeah, because most of the water in Mars is inside of the planet. It's not outside.
It's frozen rivers inside. So I wouldn't be surprised if they like heat up a little bit, take some out, and then it's just like they use it to survive.
The main mission is to try to find.
What's the name of it?
It's the James Webb Telescope.
I'm gonna do so. I'm gonna look it up.
The main mission with them right now is to find another planet that's habitable for us. Because if we do find it, that could be home if shit happens here. But like I was trying to say earlier with the simulations in VR, in terms of the data analysis, right? So imagine I give you a VR headset, right? And now you're like an astronaut on this said planet. You can like look around and stuff, feel what it feels like, touch things. And like you can get it's like WALL-E, bro. You remember WALL-E? Like when he was inside of the ship, everybody was like in their own little stations. They had their food and drinks coming to them. They had a bathroom, and they had like these headsets where they're living like a virtual life. Like some of them were playing golf. There was another one getting married. Like if you go back, you'll see like, because it's like background shots, so it's only shown for like some seconds. Yeah. There was like a couple getting married. There was 2 of them playing golf. Another guy was like, I think he was playing a boxing game or something like that. So like just imagine with how VR is like adapting so fast. I feel like Sword Art Online, like the anime, will eventually be real life, bro. Or like Ready Player One, where people are just living in a virtual world instead of just being out here. Because shit's too bad out here, bro.
I think it might. I think the... Shit, I mean...
Because imagine, the way I was looking at it is, there's a couple options, but the 3 options I took into consideration the most were like, we're not going to be able to leave this planet, and this planet's only getting worse, so we're going to have to do what WALL-E does. Like the shit the people did in WALL-E, would just like live in a simulation within a simulation here. Or we could build that technology, and while we are interstellar, like on a big ass ship, a bunch of big ass ships carrying all these humans around space, that's how we would be living for those couple of years until we get to that planet that we're going to. Because it's going to be far. So we're going to have to wait a while. You know what I'm saying? Unless we find like super speed charge energy that could just fly us through space itself.
I don't know if
that would be dope as shit.
I don't know if it's true, but apparently, I mean, asteroids, I'm pretty sure you could use for rocket fuel. I don't know if it's just in video games, but if that's true, that's infinite fuel right there.
Yeah, especially because like there's a bunch of asteroid belts, so you'll definitely.
I mean, there's asteroids everywhere, bro. Asteroids are literally just debris from the Big Bang Theory. Ever since then, everything's just been going up everywhere. So it's literally just anything, and then you have asteroids that bump into each other
that create more.
Yeah. Whoever's driving that ship is gonna have to know what they're doing, bro. You're gonna have to know.
That's what I was saying about like imagine, for example, we go to Mars. Well, like that is the main destination, but it's gonna take us like 15 years to get there. So we would have to be on like these big ass ships or transportation devices for 15 years. But imagine if that's what the technology that we're using. Like you would have like your own bubble, and you have like your VR headset. You have everything you need to survive, right? And all your wants are in the virtual world for like 15 years, and then finally we get to Mars.
I mean, I want to be
that
honest.
Would be sick.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but we could get there in 2, bro. It's not 15.
No, I was just saying for example, because like I know Mars isn't that far, but the planet that we might find will definitely be. It's already out of our solar system, so it's gonna be years.
Probably. That's why I'm pretty sure that's why Elon Musk is out here just trying to conquer. Because I understand we're looking for a new home, but like I feel like the first steps to becoming like a Type 2 civilization would be to fix our own planet, and then like slowly inhabit another one, and then from there on start inhabiting like moons maybe, and then just keep going forward. And after we get our solar system down, we can leave it, because I I don't know if we're gonna be able to
like
just leave our solar system.
That was another theory that I was seeing on Reddit. Like people were saying, like, what if humans have been doing this already for millennia without knowing it? Like, we go to a planet until we fuck it up, and then we leave. We go to a planet, fuck it up, leave. So it's like we're like a virus in a sense. Imagine if that's really what's been going on.
And it's like, it's always like it's always like maybe 1,000 people that have to like repopulate it.
Yeah, because those same people are the people that say like maybe that's why aliens don't want to come here, because they know that. That would be crazy, bro. Like, what if we're actually the bad guys? Shit.
And they're keeping track of us, and they're over there now. Stay away.
Studying, because like, you would study your enemies. Why not? You'd be an idiot not to.
Correct. Little different type.
I think we're thinking too deep. To be honest, we're thinking a little too deep.
I think we might be thinking a little bit too deep. What are some other things you wrote down?
That's what I have in terms of the main things I wanted to talk about, except for this. I mean, you can tell me something you wrote down.
I was looking into the myth of time, because I wasn't necessarily interested in time, but time as a whole is just a cool topic, I feel like, in my opinion, especially with the whole, take out the past, take out the future. The happiest you'll ever be is in the present moment.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna give y'all some context just so like they know what you're talking about. But like I think it was like around 2 years ago, I had this lucid dream, where I don't remember how I got there or why I was there. I was just on a park bench talking to a monk. And I remember asking him, like, why don't I feel fulfilled? And he told me, this is exactly what he told me, because I still remember it so well. He told me, when you live in the past, you're living in regret. So your whole life will be regretful. When you're living in the future, you're living with anxiety and desperation. So by the process of elimination, that means the present moment is the happiest you'll ever be. As soon as I heard those words, bro, life changed. Perspective changed, bro.
And like another thing, you said this a little bit ago, like, birthdays are just an affirmation that you're getting older, and it's like, realistically, you want to just, time is fluid, so like if you can maintain young if you really want to, like you're only
because like, okay, so that leads to a question that I wanted to ask you. Is time a social construct?
Social construct? Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even back to like the oldest calendar known to man, the Shango bone, even that is just like that was.
But that's a social construct. We made that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what I would say.
That's what you know what I'm saying.
No, because I'm on the other side. It's a debate. Because what I would say is, time is fluid. So whether we say that or not, it's still gonna happen. And the only reason why I say that is because, like, look at animals. If it was to all of a sudden start snowing all around the world, animals would have to be forced into hibernation. Well, the ones that would have to, they would have to be forced into hibernation, and a lot of them would most likely die, right? So it's like, if you're looking at it from an animal's perspective, or like, say like we're still like hunters and gatherers, right? Like we're wearing animal skin for warmth and shit. We're hanging by the campfire. What are they called? Millennials? Not millennials. That's not what they're called. Like cavemen. I'll just say that for lack of a better term. Imagine we're still cavemen. They had no sense of what time was. So like, if they go off of day and night, the moon and the sun. Animals are a prime example, because like they don't have a calendar. They don't have that social construct. So animals get used to like the flow of things again. So like when they see it's like, for example, on the clock it says 8 a.m. But for most birds, they know by now, because of like evolution and like
the sun's going down, so it's going to
be night. The sun's rising, so like warmth is coming. It's like, for them, that's what they look at it as, but for us, we know it's like, oh, it's 8 a.m., it's 9 a.m.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a social construct, because when I think about it, I don't think
it's a social construct, because like even if we didn't have calendars, we still would be flowing through time.
No, but I don't even know if I'm using that shit correctly, but what I'm trying to say is like, whatchamacallit, we are like timing the time, if that makes sense. Like we literally made calendars, we timed it, we put like dates on shit like that. That's what I mean when it's like socially constructed, and that's like what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
No, but my question was: is time itself a social construct?
Like something that we made up.
Yeah.
No.
Well, not so much we made up, but something that like we, I guess, mangled with or diluted from the original definition of.
No, 100% no. We definitely tried to put rules on it and shit. Like, not necessarily rules, but just like ways to keep ourselves in track, like times and shit like that. Because it would be a little weird if you didn't have like,
because like
especially in today's day and age, if you weren't going by clocks and you were going by like stars and the time of the day, you might be an hour late to your job and they'll be tight.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier about like how animals do it, because animals do it off instinct, right? So like, let's say for a bunny, because a bunny has to hibernate, or like a bear for a better example, he's already gotten into the rhythm, whether like his father or like his parents taught him, or it's just shit he learned by himself. He's already gone into the smoother things that like for us it would be like, oh, it's November, it's December. For him it's like, okay, now I know that around this time of the year it starts to get a lot colder and it'll probably snow. I don't like that, so I need to get ready for hibernation. You get what that's how he's thinking.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like we put all these restrictions on, not so much restrictions, but we put all these tracking methods on it. So that way, like, we have a set thing to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just socially good.
Because we do that, we diluted away from the original term of time itself. Because time is always passing, whether we want to like it or not. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
I think the idea of, like, putting a time, like a clock and stuff like that, obviously...
Like, let me give you another example. Like, hunters and gatherers. They didn't have times. They didn't have like a clock.
They didn't have a choice. They weren't.
So
there.
Like they got into the rhythm of things that like, okay, around this time is perfect for hunting.
Alright.
Now that would be like 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
But
then it was like, okay, around this time animals start to show up. We should probably go hunting.
Let me give you another example. The next day he gets it wrong and he fucking misses his chance to eat. That's why calendars and clocks are good. You know what I'm saying? They help you stay in track.
Yeah, but like
that's what I'm saying. That they're good in general.
Like even if we try doing that, that's to a certain extent it will never be correct. It's just
exactly.
Like an educated guess.
An educated guess, like, which there's nothing wrong with.
Because like the only reason why I say that is like, yeah, you can say that, but it's also like they've already gotten into the rhythm of things that like they know that where they're habiting like that area, there tends to be a good amount of animals there. They're not gonna hunt everything in one go. So obviously. Like they're gonna have food the next day. It's just the fact that like maybe it might not be when it was yesterday, but you still have that instinct where it's like
for the most part
it's still around that time where I should be hunting, so let me just keep looking.
I like calendars necessarily not calendars, just like the fact that like we put like dates and stuff just to keep us like a little bit in track. But for the most part, I also get what you're saying. Like, without a clock, I usually know what time it is, like, when I wake up.
Because, like, a perfect example, question.
I usually look outside and know what season it is when the leaves are falling off the trees.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we know now that it's 365 days in a year. What do you think that kind of knowledge is like for, like, a bear? He has no idea that we track years. So, realistically, he has no idea what year it is. Or that it is 2022. For him, it's probably like he doesn't even think about that type of stuff.
Exactly.
So it's probably that's why it's a social construct.
But also, that brings me to my next point. It probably helps a lot. Like before, we started creating like calendars and times and all this shit. People were probably so in the moment.
For sure.
So in
for
the
sure.
moment.
It was more like use the human body you have to make the best of your situation every day. Now it's kind of like we can stir away from that because we have all this digital stuff. You can go make a character in a game and live a life you don't really like. You mean you don't really live, but you like to?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's very prevalent in video games. People take on a persona. It's not really them, but they would like to believe it is. So it's like because of that, we are. I feel like we're getting dumber. You know what I'm saying? We're steering away from the general goal, which should be evolution, development, innovation. 100%. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Now it's kind of like I feel like laziness
has to go forward, bro.
Laziness is a lot more prevalent in the world now, especially with all this bullshit going on. People are more forced to stay inside and not do much and not chase shit.
And it's also a lot easier to convince yourself that you're right than you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody likes being told no, unless you're humble about it. Because I embrace a no. It's a lesson at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'd much rather take a lesson than what I wanted in the first place. So it's like, I don't necessarily think like that, but I know a lot of people do. Especially in America, most people do. If we were to do like, you know, a red pill percentage versus a blue pill's definitely dominating in America, bro. People, NPCs everywhere, bro. They're just living, going about their, like, you know what I mean? Writing shit down but never chasing it, I guess.
Yeah, we're very, the States, I mean, not all of it. There's like, obviously it's not sunshine and shit over here. But we're very secluded, bro. Like, we're just a little state. Everybody in there
A little state, bro, is big as shit.
It's pretty big, but like everybody in there is just like, I don't know, everybody's in there is like following some type of propaganda for the most part. And it's all controlled, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Down to the bone.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if that actually is true. Like, we're the most controlled part of the world. Because we have all these regulations, all these restrictions, all these licenses and all that shit. Like, you have to go through so much to get what you want. Whether, like, I feel like in a lot of places else it's a lot more easier to attain. But you would never know that unless you leave. And they make it hard to leave. So it's like, that's why people live and die here. Me personally, I would not like to die in America. That's just me.
Bury me in my Caribbean soul, bro. Soil. I have the first song ever made, but you know, speaking of being in the moment, which is something that we should genuinely, I need to work on that heavy. The first, like the oldest song known to man, and the lyrics are, while you live, shine, have no grief at all, life only exists for a short while, and time demands its due.
That's the first song?
Like, that's the oldest song known to man, and the beat is literally just like...
He was spitting.
He was just slapping something and spitting. But that's crazy. The oldest song known to man, 20,000 years old, I think, or some shit like that.
You know what that reminds me of? And if the world ever has an apocalypse, I will kill all you fuckers. Shout out X, bro.
That's crazy, though. Some of the first humans that lived on this earth were still embracing the act of being in the moment.
Yeah, because everybody was a lot more woke, bro. I'm telling you, they didn't have all this bullshit secluding their mind. Like, propaganda, advertisement, marketing everywhere. Like, the game's changed, bro.
Also, a way, because you know how we build a time for the, like, you know how we have a calendar and all that?
Yeah.
I forget. I think I wrote it down. Our current calendar is an adapted version of the Roman calendar, because like before everybody,
yeah, I don't
like
know,
whether
I don't
you
know
liked
too
it,
much about the calendar thing, but I know that we don't. Like, not everybody used to this.
Before the internet and all that, people were still genuinely trying to keep track of time, because it's just like something that like I think is just embedded in our human nature to just try to.
We like to have more control.
Yeah, to try to have control and understand. So like, you know, everybody had a bunch of different types of way of tracking the time all around the world. And the one we have today is just an adapted version of the Romans. I thought that was pretty cool. Zodiac signs were used to like to understand time at the beginning. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But like that's what I was telling you earlier when you were doing your thing. It's because like at the exact time you're born, the stars are all placed in a specific place, and it changes all the time. That's why everybody's different. If everybody was born at the same time, we would all think the same, or pretty much in the same degree of thoughts.
Other than that, you know, the Power Ranger thing. There's a Power Ranger.
Bro, tell me about that.
There's a Power Ranger anime, I think. So you should watch that if you're a fiend. The green one's the only one that made it out the hood. You can find him on TikTok. The red one got arrested, COVID fraud, and the pink one, there's only cosplays for that.
She does cosplays?
No, only people cosplay as her. She didn't make it out the hood either. Only the green one made it, bro. Only the green one has a prevalence in TikTok.
See, but like, I want you guys to know we're talking about like Dino Thunder Power Rangers, not all Power. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it's not even. I know Dino Thunder was popular, but the other ones were popular too. But like the fact that the only green one made it out, it's a little concerning.
The cop one was heat.
It's a little concerning. I don't think I remember that much.
I don't remember the name of it, but that shit was heat, bro. I know some people know what I'm talking about. The last thing I wanted to talk about was like angel numbers, and I want to get like a little. I want to explain it more, just because like I know I see them often. I know you see them often, but like, everybody tends to see them. But like, okay, it says when you see 111, right? This one's the sign of intuition. So encourages you. Jesus, English is hard. Encourages you to keep following your spirit. You're on the right path, and you listen to your heart and your gut when you see this number. So when you see 111, trust your intuition, bro. Your intuition, bro. English is so hard. 222, it means you're at the right place at the right time. Trust in what you want and know that it's coming. 333, which is one that I see a lot, it's equilibrium. Mind, body, and spirit are all in sync at that one moment. So keep focusing on these three aspects and don't neglect anything you regret. When you see 444, it means you are protected. The universe and your spirit guides are encouraging you to get out there more and embrace yourself and your emotions. 555 is the change. It means change is occurring around the universe when you see this number. So your things in the behind the scenes, something's going on. 666, which I want to talk about this one specifically because I know a lot of people see 666 and get the wrong connotation from stigma.
It. Yeah, exactly. I mean we have that around a bunch of things.
See, but like it's actually the exact opposite.
Yeah, and we have that for a lot, even for crows too.
When you see 666, instead of you thinking it's a bad thing, it's actually a sign to take a step back, re-elaborate your thoughts and your emotions in that moment, just to make sure you know exactly what you're doing and you're getting yourself into. It's actually a good sign instead of a bad one. 777 is one of the best ones you can get because it's the sign of luck and strength. So like you're growing when you see that. When you see that 777, it's basically like your spirit guide's telling you like you're doing good on growth. Luck is on your side, essentially. 888 is the balance. So that means everything about you, including your harmony, is in balance. Not a lot of people get to see this one, so when I see it, I get happy. 999, shout out Juice WRLD, is the wrap up. It's time. It's funny too because he would praise this too. Take a bad situation and turn it into a good one. You have the power to do so, so why not? That's it. The last one, there's a lot more. Like I know there's 732 is one of them. But these are just the ones that are commonly seen.
It says the wrap up.
Yeah, the wrap up.
Time to start up a journey, wrap up loose ends, let go of what does and not serve you, prepare for the next level when you see this number.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out Juice. And he was constantly in that state.
He was constantly praising that message. That's shout out Juice again. But those are the ones that are generally seen a lot by people. I know there's a bunch of them out there, and you would have to like look them up whenever you think it might be a message. Because I know 703 is one of them, 313 is one. Whenever you see an ascending number like 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4. It means you're going down the right path. It's like keep doing what you're doing. 000 is like, if I'm remembering correctly, it means you're doing everything well. Keep doing. You're not making a single mistake. Don't question anything. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing already. Those are the ones that I know a lot about, or a good amount to talk about it. But do you know any in particular except for those?
No, for the most part, I just know I've been seeing a lot of 777 and 444 lately. So
777 and 4. You're good, bro. You're doing good. What was that you wanted to talk about before we wrap it up?
You know, I was talking about character personalities, and I was interested in the because we all have one of these, and I think this one's called the fool or like the trickster. And, even back in the day, the king would have like his guy that he would come in, cheer up the mood and stuff like that.
It would usually be like a musician or something like that. Play a song.
Something like that. Usually those people would be called like the tricksters or the fools. Those persons usually like unpredictable, have a lot of wisdom, unconventional, creative. They don't go out their way to like make the world. They kind of react to it and like live with it.
That literally sounds like Brooke from One Piece.
They're usually in a rebellion in their own world, trying to like find peace and happiness, shit like that.
That's literally Brooke.
And they're usually bound. They like to cross a lot of boundaries sometimes to establish their rebellion against themselves, try to see where they fit.
Yeah.
So I thought that resonated with me a lot. So I wrote that.
There's definitely a lot of people like that out there, bro.
A lot of tricksters out there, yo.
Yeah, be careful too. It can go bad. You know?
I didn't write down any other personality traits. That video was only about the fool, but he has other videos about them, and I think the next one was like the silent keeper or something like that. Just people, I don't know, people who genuinely don't talk, listeners.
Yeah, like active listeners. But it's also like...
Because, like, we're all born with, like, a lot of people... Obviously, we can do all of these, but some of us are better at, like, certain of them than others. Mm-hmm. And it's good to, like, find what you are, yeah?
Yeah, like, where you land on the spectrum. Because you really know who you are.
Like the Hunter x Hunter thing. Like, we're all born with... Like, we have the whole tree. Mm-hmm. But we have certain, like, branches.
Like certain aspects that are
we have certain branches that, like, go some, like... higher places than others, and like it's good to like use those to your advantage.
Exactly. Speaking of thank you for leading me down this path, bro. Hunter's coming back. I don't know shit. Let's fucking go. I'm hype as fuck, bro. Jesus, took way too long, bro. My boy came out the hospital, bro. He's been having
for real, like he's been having real life.
Yeah, like the main writer has been having back problems for like a long time now.
Breaking his back at work, bro.
Just to provide you with episodes, bro. It's insane. Like I love anime mainly because of like the stories and stuff, but I just know that it's so much work, it's so much passion that's put into it. So it's like, especially as a kid, bro. When I would hear people like, "Why are you watching Naruto? That's just gay." That shit would hurt me, bro, because I would sit there like, bro, you have no idea the level of disrespect that just came out of your mouth, bro. These people be working like 70-hour weeks, bro, for one episode at a time.
Ignorance is bliss, bro.
And then you still have to dig into the account that, like, they're going off a manga, so they have to write the story first, draw it out, and then animate it. It's a long-ass process just to give you one episode. Imagine, like, an anime like this, bro, like One Piece. They've been doing this shit for more than a decade, bro. And they're still going, bro. He still hasn't found the one.
Kevin was a couple hundred episodes deep when I moved to this country, bro.
That's literally what I'm saying. Like, I know people to this day that was like their favorite anime back in the day, and they're still watching it. R.I.P. to the people that died.
Kevin was watching that shit before I was in 3rd grade, bro. Like... Or 4th grade.
It's been around since...
I finished...
I
graduated high school 2 years ago. He's still watching it.
He's still watching it, bro. I'm going to just make sure so I don't get the date wrong. But I'm pretty sure One Piece came out in the 90s, bro. It came out in 1999, bro. And it's still going, bro.
That shit's older than me, bro.
Like, even if you don't like anime, you gotta appreciate that, bro. Cause like, take it away from the fact that it is a cartoon. It's still a show. There's still a story written and a message spread. It's still that's how good, I guess we'll say, or lovable the message is. It's still going, bro. Cause you wouldn't be doing it if no one's supporting it. How you gonna keep production up? It's one of the biggest animes in Japan. They have restaurants dedicated to it. They have cafes. They have statues.
Stores.
Come on now. This is why I've been dying to go to Japan for years, bro.
Like, you turn the corner and you see Luffy greeting you into his shop.
It's a whole different world, bro. It's literally a video game. If you're a child, you love life. If you're born in Japan as a child, you love life.
I was looking at like do's and don'ts for when we go to Japan, and a lot of them are like you can I think we were watching this together. I don't remember, but like it's common to yell at waiters and stuff like that. People are just a lot happier over there. So like when you yell at someone, they're not taking it to the heart.
People are a lot less sensitive.
Yeah, true. They're happier and they're just happier, bro. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Like I'll give you some key examples to really show you the difference between Japan and America. It's pretty dumb, but it's still worth to talk about. And pretty much every toilet in Japan has a bidet. Even a 7-Eleven has a fucking toilet with a bidet on it.
It is what it is.
In America, bro, you would have to be going to like a illustrious restaurant.
Gotta be in Dubai.
The fucking steak is like $200 just to get a bidet in the bathroom. In Japan, you get that at a grocery store. So it's like, that shows how much they care and where they put their money. You get what I'm saying? In terms of another one that I know that still drives me crazy to this day, a lot of grocery stores or like little supermarket, like little markets like that, not like bigger ones, like a little 7-Eleven. There's nobody in there. You go in, you self-check out, you bag your own shit, you get the fuck out. That's it. If you steal, there's cameras everywhere. They're taking it off your shit. Nobody does that. But it's like the fact that they've already gone past that. Like I know we're gonna get past that to the point where like robots are doing everything. But in Japan, it's already a lot more seeable. Like they have spas and shit where like robots do everything for you. You just lay there.
Insane. They're so much ahead. They use their technology and money to advance their.
Is it China or Japan that has like the world's fastest train? Is it Japan?
I don't remember. Probably Japan, because Japan is like very intricately built. Like
Japan is a lot more commercialized.
Their system is like, I forget what it was. I think they use ants. They like used a bunch of ants to see what kind of system like they would have in place.
Yeah.
Like, cause like ants, they live inside like, so that, if anybody knows holes in like bunch of like burrows and systems, like how trains are usually tracks and stuff like that. Yeah. You could imagine that being a little burrow for like an ant. I don't remember where I read this, but they use like ants to like replicate how they were gonna build their railway system, because it was like it's already there in nature, the most efficient way to get around. You get what I'm saying? So they just simply copied it.
Going back to what we were talking about, everything's already here, bro. There's no point on making artificial stuff.
I was mind blown by that.
That's all us.
They literally the fastest. It's also the most efficient like subway system ever. Like you could genuinely rely on the subway in like Japan. You get what I'm saying? Because people,
the times you'll be late is a lot less than here.
They're very controlled and they know what they're doing, because like they said, they copied I don't remember if it was ants. It was some animal or something like that.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of Japan, for some good news, the air pollution percentage has gone down over 35% in the Middle East. It's specifically in China and Japan. Because that used to be their biggest issue, was the fact that they're doing all this commercialism and stuff. But where do you think this comes from? Like coal burning, fossil fuels.
No.
That shit is not good for the air. So that they've started doing things that are a lot more cleaner for the planet, which we love seeing that. Solar panels are already fucking... You can already have... I think it was actually in Switzerland that they did this. But I seen some guy talk about... They already made a solar panel that's usable 24/7. Yeah. Even when the sun's not out.
Yes,
you can still provide it. I think it's from the moonlight actually, but it still provides you with energy for electricity and stuff like that.
Insane, bro.
So just wait to the point that like everybody has one of those.
It's like, you see what I'm saying? And when they do decide to advance forward, they know what to do. They do it quick. It's a wrap.
We evolve so fast. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like from 2016 till now, there's been a bunch of new shit coming out. I'm not gonna get into detail because there's a lot, but like even the James Webb, bro, this shit wasn't even, only the people that knew it was in production were talking about this type of stuff. Now it's like general public knowledge. Like you can go on TikTok right now, you can go on Instagram and like look at pictures that is captured, videos and stuff, because like that's one of their main goals, is just to study the space, because like, we really do not know anything about space. And on top of that, we're like literally a crumb in the grand scheme of things. So it's like our galaxy is a crumb, not just our planet. So it's like we have a lot of knowledge to get. And we haven't even started creaking like the tip of the iceberg, basically. Yeah. We're finally doing that. Because like even in ancient times, like a lot of them, especially in like ancient Egypt, a lot of them already knew about the solar system to a certain extent. It's written down. There's symbols and stuff, like it has the Earth, the Sun, Mars, like even Pluto was there. So like they had somewhat understanding. Then you bring like Plato, Socrates, all these people that were like outgoing for this type of knowledge. We gotta shout them out, bro. And there has to be more of them going forward. Like I think Elon would be a perfect example of like a modern day. I'm not gonna put him next to Socrates. That's kind of disrespectful. But yeah. Elon is kind of like a modern day person that's really.
Yeah, he's advocating.
He's an advocator for education, especially education that's not found here.
Going
forward, exactly. Going back to the whole Wall-E thing. If we're predictive programming, if Wall-E becomes real, bro, I'm not gonna like that, bro. I'm not gonna like that, bro. You remember all the humans? They were fat as shit.
Bro,
they're not working out, bro. They're working out in their game.
Cause it's like if it gets to a point where you're living Wall-E and you can look back and be like, we're literally living it. You just, at that point, just watch a couple more movies and be like, what's coming next, bro?
No, like that's
what's coming next.
Literally though, you could actually use, like, I think I told you about this. Like Interstellar, the movie, is literally used in college to learn about.
Yeah,
space.
They did a lot of stuff that was like crossing borders.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was very into this movie, but for the most part, they tried to keep it like very real, like to what would happen. Obviously, after they go into like a black hole and all that, I mean, you can't really.
Nothing. How the hell are you gonna know?
How you gonna... So I mean, they took an educated guess based on the fact that you could travel back in time.
Yeah.
And he was
the
even
the Martian did a good job at that too. It's like it was a movie about like what it feels like to be a human in a situation like that. Like he had to grow his own crops in the ship. He was losing his fucking mind because he was by himself. But he kind of stuck it out. I'm not gonna spoil it, but he stuck it out to a certain extent. He was growing crops, eating, had his food, had a bathroom, taking showers to a certain like. He was still being a human, but it's the fact that like, if we didn't make that movie, those discussions wouldn't happen. And that's what a lot of people forget, that the fact that like, oh, it's just a show, it's just an anime, it's just a movie. Bro, the people behind these things have a message to tell you. And whether you want to believe it or not, some of these messages are very important. A lot of anime shows that, especially Avatar, bro. Uncle Iroh, stop playing with him.
It's funny you mentioned that. With him. I was watching Midbeast the other day, and he was on a stream with his eyes closed, meditating to to Uncle Iroh's message, where he was like, "You want to make sure you let it in, never let it bottle out, and
guide it through the stomach, away from the chest."
Yeah, he was literally just listening and meditating.
Shoot it out to the stars.
He was meditating to that on stream, and I was just like, "That's fucking awesome."
Bro, I think I think it was either CJ or you that said this, but like literally every piece of Uncle Iroh's dialogue is a quote. You can quote anything he said in the show.
I'm pretty sure that was CJ that said that, but yeah, I don't doubt it.
You know what?
Man's a walking W.
One of the saddest things. I'm not trying to get negative, but like you know that part in Avatar where like he's like doing the memorial for his son that died in the war. You know that story is real.
Correct, I didn't know that.
And like the little song you hear and that he's singing, those were like the lyrics of the son like sending that to the father as like a departing message. So like what you see in the show is actually what happened. Cracked. Avatar was goated, bro. We need more, bro.
Watched it 3 times for a reason, bro.
I never watched Korra because fuck that, but the original Avatar is goated.
They disappointed me with Korra, but you know what? It's okay.
I never watched it mainly because, like, bro, when you meet Aang, all he really knows how to do is airbend, waterbend, and that's pretty much it, right? And then you get to see him really learn and put himself out there, try to learn his roots. But by the time he realized, like, everybody's already dead. He's kind of like the last one. Korra, on the other hand, Shorty knows everything off the gate, I think except air.
Blood bending and shit.
She's over here doing blood bending, bro. I was like, what?
Nah, the second they figured they did do that a little bit in Avatar 1 when they went to that weird ass forest with the witch, but that shit was crazy.
But I just don't like the pacing, bro. Cause like when you in Korra, Aang's already dead. I think Toph's the only one that's still alive. I think no, actually, Katara's
she might
still
be.
alive.
I think she is because she does security.
Aang's already passed. Toph's alive.
Because Toph learns how to metal bend. I remember that.
No, she learned how to metal bend in Avatar 1 when she was a child. You don't remember?
Oh yeah, she does.
When she was like in that metal thing and she started grabbing it, bro. Shorty's different. Shorty's different. But on that hand, think this is it. We're gonna wrap it up.
I think we're gonna wrap it up. That's the end of episode 4.
Appreciate you guys coming back.
Exactly. We're 4 episodes deep a month. We got plenty more to come.
That's crazy. We're already a month deep, bro.
Plenty more to come.
We love y'all.
Mwah.